All right, guys. So I want to run through, some example listings with you really fast, and we're going to list some example products. Just, running through, some things to keep in mind and giving you obviously the breakdown of how I would approach it. I'm going to do two of the main ones now. Like I said, if you're picking up from, not AliExpress, if you're picking up from Letgo or OfferUp or, a site like Craigslist, then you're going to have to take your own product pictures, or you can steal the product pictures from that actual listing. Whether you're using an iPhone, which is, there's a great camera on an iPhone nowadays, or you have a professional camera or whatever, you're going to have to typically take your own pictures, and use your own lighting. And if you guys want any breakdowns of, what lighting or cameras or anything like that I suggest, just let me know. But if you're buying from, and I'm assuming the majority of you are going to be doing this, buying from either AliExpress or drop shipping from AliExpress, like I'm going to show you in the next lecture, or if you're buying from Amazon, like on the coupon sites, then typically speaking, you can basically just copy the listings to a certain degree. Now, let me show you an example on Amazon really fast. Let's say we are going to list. We had this in our possession right here, randomly, this hat. Well, what would I do? I would take all the pictures. So I would, save the picture 1. So let's just save it randomly. Let's say hat 1. And obviously I would take every single picture. So however many pictures there are, it looks like there's 7 there. Make sure if they do have like a money back guarantee, you don't want to copy that, or you don't want to take that picture, because obviously, you probably won't be doing that. But it's just something to keep in mind. So if I were going to, that's the course. Where are we here? It said hat, right? Why am I not seeing it? Oh, there it is, right there. All right, so hat, and then obviously I'd put all the rest of the pictures there. Now with Mercari, there is a limit to 8 pictures, and you do have to actually have, and this is something to keep in mind, which is one of the drawbacks of the platform, like I'm going to talk about in the next lecture, is you do, and this is something I touched on before, you do have to have a picture yourself. So you have to take a picture. You can't have all stock photos. So what a stock photo is all of these from the listing right here are stock photos. You can't use all stock photos. You have to have your own pictures, and you'd have to take a physical picture. So I would say list, 7 of the pictures from the product listing. Take your picture of the new product in its wrapping or whatever it is, and then list that as your 8th picture. You can obviously take a lot of the keywords, and like we talked about before, Mercari is a search engine, so you want to take a lot of the keywords from the title and maybe put them into your Mercari listing. So maybe it's a music beanie with Bluetooth headphones. Now this was pretty easy one, obviously, but sometimes you're gonna have to mix and match some words and take some out if it's not streamlined, and kind of use your judgment there. But this might work well, and it works perfectly, of course, because I'm showing you. But if it wasn't that streamlined, maybe I'd take like compatible, or maybe I'd take like Scully or Beanie or something like that, or double layer. I wouldn't in this example, but you'll see the more and more you do this, if you're taking from coupon sites, that a lot of times on Amazon, the people and the sellers will just stuff keywords into the title, and it doesn't read fluidly. You want keywords to read fluidly, obviously, and help you with search. So you need to make sure that they do both. But this is obviously music beanie with Bluetooth headphones. Sounds pretty good in my opinion. The great part about doing it on Amazon is you can simply copy the listing as well and take all the keywords. So, make sure to read it really fast, and make sure that they're not offering any manufacturer warranty or, money back guarantee. Some of them actually do. But if they don't, then just simply copy and paste, and boom, you're done. Now there is 1,000 character limit on Mercari, so that sometimes will go over and you need to delete a bullet or so. But that's basically your next step, and it's super, super easy. Now the next thing to keep in mind is the hashtags. You want to generate 3 relevant hashtags. I don't know why my computer's freaking out. 3 relevant hashtags. So maybe I'd use beanie here, or hats, or winter, or something like that. You want to think of the most relevant hashtags so that it optimizes your item and your product a little bit more in the Mercari search, and that's how it can index. Now you're going to search for category, and obviously this is not a Bluetooth headphone. I would say maybe it's a hat. It is probably a hat, so categorize it to the best of your ability. I might go hats there, but it's a music hat. It's not headphones. And then if there's a brand, enter the brand, pretty self-explanatory, and the condition. Now, you don't have to have all new items, but I typically list new items because they sell for a higher price. So I'm going to say new. I'd list my shipping, zip code, and then I would, obviously, this is what I do. You don't have to do it, but we also talked about the importance of free shipping in the past. Offer your shipping. So you can say no and then elect to ship it out yourself, or you can say yes and either elect to ship it out yourself, or you can buy Mercari shipping, which I believe is usually $4 or like $4.10 or something like that. And then you set your price and it will literally show you the fee, what Mercari's deducting, and how much you earn. Pretty self-explanatory, pretty simple. Now let's run through an example on AliExpress, since, like I said, these are the two main ones that you're going to be using. But if you're listing on something else, just use your judgment. It's pretty simple. So let's randomly say that we're listing this backpack, which is kind of funny looking. It's like a dog backpack. So what I would do on Mercari and on AliExpress, and it's important to keep this in mind, is you don't want the brand name in the picture. So do your best to take that brand name out. If I were taking this picture, and another thing on AliExpress is you can't actually save the picture like you can sometimes on Amazon. So you might need like a snip tool. I'm not sure what the one is on Mac, but on PC it's just called snip tool. It's pretty self-explanatory, and then you can just take a screenshot of the image wherever you want. Now this does have the brand name in there, so you're gonna want to obviously avoid that if possible. But another important thing to keep in mind is if it's a white thing or a white background or even a black background, you can simply just save it. So let me show you really fast. We'll save it as dog bag, and then I would take this into Canva. Little caveat for you guys here. Of course, I'm not signed in. Why wouldn't I be? Alright, I'm not going to sign in because I don't want to show you my password. But what I would basically do is I would take this into Canva. It's pretty self-explanatory. And one of the things on the side of Canva, if you haven't used Canva before, it's a free website where you can basically edit pictures. It's very easy to use. Very self-explanatory. And there's a thing on the side when you sign into Canva and you upload this picture. So you want to bring this picture into the Canva edit space. You can do that super easy. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just drop a question. I'd love to answer it for you. And then what you're basically going to do is you're going to click the elements in the sidebar, which I think is like 3 down, and there's a thing called square there. You just literally bring in a square, like literally a square into the picture, and you can make a white square and just put the white square over the brand name, and then you can re-download that and upload it without the brand name. I highly suggest that you do that so it doesn't look like it's being pulled off a manufacturer website. But if you don't want to, I'm sure you could still sell it. Let's find that and upload the dog bag. Where is it? Oh, I snipped it in pictures. There it is, dog bag. All right, then let's take and figure out what a good title for this would be. So we need to make sure that, it reads streamlined, but also has good keyword stuff into it. So we might say, and I'm not going to say women because I don't want to classify it as just a women's backpack in case a guy wanted to buy this. So maybe backpack, school bag. We're going to say dog, backpack / school bag. Stuffing keywords in there, remember, but also want it to read streamlined. Vintage bag, or vintage school space bag. So you get both school and bag, and you also get school bag. Something like that. Use your judgment, but you want to stuff as many keywords as possible while it still reads streamlined and looks like a legitimate title. Then you can come down, and this is an important thing, whether you're listing on eBay or anywhere else, or you're listing on Mercari. You don't want to list the description straight off the bat when you're listing from AliExpress. You don't want to take the specs and list that as the description. So you don't want to just take this and then post it in or paste it in to the Mercari search or the Mercari description. Sorry. What you do want to do is you want to take all these keywords and kind of form a paragraph or two and really just type it out. So maybe it's this solid bag is perfect for a women's school bag in both winter and summer. It can be used as a backpack for school, but also to carry clothes or something. You know what I mean? Like so and so. The line it's made out of polyester. It has a high quality zipper, stuff like that. You just want to kind of stuff all the keywords possible into the description while still making it read streamlined like it's a legitimate description, and you didn't just copy the specifics from the manufacturer webpage. Now, I used to drop ship on Shopify all the time, and I used to teach people to drop ship on Shopify, and the biggest mistake, there was a lot of mistakes, but the biggest mistake that I saw students making was simply copying the item specs like this and posting it and pasting it into their Shopify store. Now, when somebody hits their store and is potentially interested in a product and they come to the description and they see item specs, brand name, interior, it doesn't look good. It looks like you literally just copy and pasted that product and are selling it on your store for a markup. The same thing goes on Mercari or any other website. It basically just communicates to the customer that this is not your product and you're just listing it on your store. It was a major red flag that indicated Shopify store, and if you do this on Mercari, it's just going to indicate that you're listing another item that you bought somewhere else. So don't do that. Make your own description. Just use the keywords. It's very, very simple. You can take 5 minutes and write out a paragraph or two, and it will make a huge difference in your sales. I promise you that. And then the same thing. So, your hashtags, your brand, your category. You don't have to list the brand if you don't want to. If it's, if it's not like a high-end brand like a Nike or an Adidas or anything like that, and you feel like listing the brand is not going to bring you more sales or more notoriety. I don't know why I was doing it this way. Notoriety. Then don't list the brand. It's totally fine. And same thing, obviously I recommend always free shipping, but you don't have to do that as well. We touched on that before. So that's 2 examples of listing products. Like I said, don't just list the specs. That's the most important thing on AliExpress. Make your own listing. But, also ensure that your title reads streamlined and well while stuffing as many keywords in both the title and the description as possible.